Welcome to Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N, the first and only place for movie reviews live at the cinema. Just finished watching John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, starring Keanu Reeves, Halle Berry. So John Wick, carrying on from the second film, has been made excommunicado and he's on the run. The whole agency's after him and he's trying to get his feet together, trying to sort it out before it hits 6 o'clock when it's free reign. Open contract, 14 million on his head, everyone after him. Right off the bat, initial reactions. Ed,
mate,
what do you think?
Listen, this is one of the first times I've gone into a film and imagine, like, I must care about these characters so much, or at least John Wick at least, because I was so nervous for the first 15 minutes or so watching that film. I was literally watching it and my heart was just like this.
Good tension.
The tension was, I was just like this. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was worried for his life. And they really did a good job of showing. I don't know. See, I was actually thinking during the film, if you haven't seen the first two films, would someone still have that feeling? When they're watching it, obviously it's obvious. Yeah. It's obvious that there's a hit out on him that's going to start at 6 o'clock. Yeah. So that tension is there. It's very obvious to work out. Will they still have that tension, or is it because I've watched the first two films? I think they would. I think without the content, I think you would still have that tension. That's how well done they done that intro. So, well done.
I agree.
Great intro.
I agree. James, for initial reaction, because you was making bare noise in that cinema.
This film was sick. Like I was saying in the cinema, it was like heart attack city for me, man. I was getting done. Like, from the start to the end, it was a roller coaster of just non-stop greatness. I couldn't even believe it. I can't actually fault the film itself. Like, not only did they continue the lore of the whole universe, which I have to give credit to these guys. Like, consider it's not even based off of a book or comic book, because the comic book came out after the second film. They've done such a sick job at continuing to increase the lore. Like, we got to find out more information about where the coins are being made. We find out a bit more background history about John Wick as well, like who he is, like where he came from, and the fight scenes.
Had you hyped? I could hear. I was 3 seats away. I could hear. Had you hyped? Dal, initial reactions?
I mean, just the same thing as these lot, man. I didn't expect the film to be that good. I'll be honest. I thought they're making a third one. I thought, to be fair, I liked the first one. I thought the second one was okay. I wouldn't say it was bad. I just thought it wasn't as good. But this number 3 is definitely better than number 2, in my opinion. I think it just constantly kept the pace going. Like, there was really no slow moment in this film. Like, I'm watching the film and I didn't even realize it was finished. Like, I mean, obviously it kept going, but you're just watching the film. There was no moments. I mean, obviously the ending I thought dragged a bit, but I just think the way they did the action, I think that's probably one of the best. It had one of the best action scenes in a while. I can't even think of the last time I saw something as good as that. In terms of, like, not like superhero actiony stuff, but more like hand-to-hand combat. Do you know what I mean?
Just going off of what you said, I wasn't expecting. I didn't have high expectations, but obviously I was looking forward to the film. But one thing I've always loved about John Wick, from the first one, you know, in most action films, when someone shoots someone, they just shoot them and that's it. He always does kill confirm all the time. It's never just, and it's mad because it's like, I'm thinking to myself, rah, you know he's dead. You'll get shot in the chest, but he'll still shoot you twice in the head. Like, there's kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
As unrealistic as this film is, they try to make it realistic in the sense that this is what an assassin would do. You are not just going to shoot someone in the chest and think, okay, that's it. No, assassin would make sure they're dead. They will kill confirm every single hit. Like, look out throughout the entire film. Even in the water, man was still blowing man's head.
Has to be done. Has to be done. Has to be done. I want to come to you first, Darryl. What did you really like about the film? Your favourite?
What I liked about
what did you like about it specifically?
I mean, the action. I tell you, one of I think my favourite action scene in the whole film was actually probably the first fights, where he was fighting them, I guess, I don't know what they're called, like Asian ninjas or something, where they were just throwing kunais at each other. And like that scene, I felt like it was all done in one shot or something, because it just kept going. It was never, you never see like those zoom in, close shot, you know what I mean? It was just a constant, And yeah, and the fact that it, to me, I'm assuming Keanu Reeves did all that, because when I'm looking at the fight, it doesn't look like it's stopping. So it's as if it is him.
I will say just a little tidbit of information from the first one through to the third. He done all his fight scenes, all the training, all the weapon training as well. He literally went to, I don't know where the place was, but he does all the.
Where he's going around just doing the shooting.
Halle Berry did the same thing for this film as well. Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, I think the action in general for me just kept me on my seat, kept me watching it. I think obviously the story is what it is. I mean, it's a simple plot. He's trying to escape people, whatever. But you don't watch this film for like. I mean, obviously when I watched number 2, I think that was the main highlight of number 2, where I don't think the film was that good. But when they did that last bit where he was cut off from everyone, I thought, oh, this is going to be mad now for the next one. Do you know what I mean? So they it kind of set the stage for the next one. But in the case, I just think that the story was pretty much simple to the point. I need to escape. I need to get, this excommunicado thing off me. And yeah, I think they just did a sick job with how they came about with the story and stuff. So yeah, man.
I agree. Ed, what did you like about the film specifically?
I mean, look, there's a lot that I like about the film. Specifically, if I had to sort of pick and choose, I liked the fact that we got a bit info into his past. Like that scene, yeah, exactly. And then when we saw, so I think he was doing a lot of repetitive moves early on in the film. And at first I was thinking, right, he's doing that. I don't know the name.
It's like a hip throw.
Yeah. He's doing this quite a lot, and I was like, I did notice it. And it wasn't until he went to his sort of, I guess, where he grew up, and I saw 3 moves that he always does, and I was like, that's where because he predominantly does.
It's literally it's like Roman Greco wrestling, like
exactly, yeah.
All the holds, all the rolls and arm bars, everything.
Predominantly does wrestling. I think that was a bit where I was like, yes, I like that. I think my favourite fight action sequence, it's gonna have to be the first. When I say the first one, the knives one, because he was just constantly bang, throwing, bang, throwing, and then sometimes he'd have about 5 on him. And
one guy that he just gave.
And then even when he's like smashed up, he went, one more in your head, bang.
Oh yeah, and that same sequence added the horse scene, bro. But then he just like on the horse, just like bat. And there was one bit where the horse did it twice. One in his chest, one in his face.
And do you know why that was funny? Because that's John Wick's special move. Like throughout the first 2 films, he did it in this one as well. He does the 2 shots, bang, bang. He does one in your body, one in your head, bang, bang. And then the horse did it, and it's like, dunk, dunk. I was like, oh, that's John Wick's move. Sick.
The action scenes in this, they definitely took it up a notch. What did you like about the film? Because pretty much everything.
Everything about this film, but if I was to choose a favourite scene, it was the joint scene with Halle Berry and him with the dogs. I think the way she trains those dogs.
Dog master.
Yeah, she's a dog master. She was like, hey, come, and then just like 2 dogs just like start attacking other people. Then she confirms them. They just start coming out of nowhere. It's just sick. She was going on sick. Like, don't she? Oh, Halle Berry.
I felt like they gave Halle Berry her own stage for a little while.
They did.
There was a while, like I think it was like at least 3-4 minutes, and it was just her just constantly going mad.
Yeah, no, that's it. Right? That is my favourite scene.
I could tell in the cinema you was going sick. Every time those dogs like jumped out and made a kill, this guy he was going ham.
I'm sure there's a game where you can do something like that, where every time you press like a button is like, and it.
Do you know what? I can see the game and the guy. It was on Xbox as well on the previous gen. Oh, what's the game called? Dead to Rights. That's the game. Oi. Yeah, with the dog. Yeah.
Mate, proper reminded me.
Yeah. They went sick. But ones that stood out for me is 2 in particular. Because I didn't even know he was in the film because they don't show him in the trailer. I only know him as Mad Dog from The Raid, one of the villains in The Raid. When it's him and the other guy and they're fighting.
That was sick.
Yeah, because they had the respect.
They could have killed him twice.
Yeah.
They could have killed him.
Yeah, definitely. And they had the respect because obviously his name is like legendary, so everyone knows John Wick like raw. But these guys were like, we could get to fight you, Mr. Wick. And obviously they were badding him up at first. He's like, oh, he's getting kind of old, he's a bit slow. But they're like, yeah, but he's John Wick. Like, and they soon found out, like, obviously he is John Wick, and he always finds a way. And it was sick because, as you were saying about the wrestling, you see his past and kind of a bit of how he became to be, and you know what he's learned. He gave one of them one sick spinning body to body. Yeah, he gave him a spinning belly to belly, one of them, and then the other one he picked him up, and I was thinking, oh my god, he's gonna angle slam me, and he legit done an angle slam clean.
That was intentional as well.
Yeah. But it makes sense. It's not even like it was out of anywhere because of his training. I was like, that's sick.
I was thinking, is he gonna kill them? Is he gonna kill them? And when he said like,
Mutual respect.
they sort of were like,
When he first went to Halle Berry, she was like, nah, you never just want to talk, it's all this, you want to kill and all this, and then it ended up her being the one going ham, and he was like, no, don't do it. Like,
it's ironic because she murked him for the same reason he murked.
Exactly. That whole dynamic
They
was
shot my dog.
just,
He's like, I know.
I get it.
Out of everyone, that's why they got like these little like nods for like the first one and all that.
that whole dynamic was sick. That's all, man.
One reference I thought was actually really good. Yeah. He knows because it was when they were at the final battle, and he was like, "What do you need? Guns, lots of guns." That was that sick Matrix reference on that.
There's a lot of positives and a lot of good things they done right. Like all the action, it just as you were saying before, like the whole build up. There was never any point where I thought, "Rah, this is kind of dragging," or this doesn't make any sense. It was all done very well. Having said that, were there any negatives or any bad points? Because personally, just off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything at the moment, to be fair. So if you've got one, then...
Well, I've got one, but it's more like a personal gripe. I imagine other people won't have a problem with it. Nah, okay, my one's just basically, I understand we go into this film and we have to sort of accept certain rules and laws, and like, we have to suspend certain beliefs, like, oh, that happens. But the point where I went, all right, hang on a second now, is the king above the king above the high table. Then I was just like, all right, you lot are going too far now. But then like the way they sort of done it, he's like some god, like he's in the desert. I was like, why is this guy sick?
But you know what? I agree with you, but I think maybe they should have explained his backstory a bit more. Because what I mean by that is, if he said I was the first assassin or something, or my lineage goes back to the originals, I'll be like, oh, so that's why you're the guy, right? Because you're in the middle of desert, there's no internet or whatever. I don't know how, whatever.
Don't even know how he found it.
I guess that's part of the mystery, though. Because to be fair, this is the first time we heard about this person. And even, sorry, I have to call him Bron because I don't know his name in the film. When Bron was saying, no, you don't request to meet him. You go here, you walk, you drop. And you might, so it's kind of like, but what you're saying, he could have maybe said a little thing like, oh, I don't know, but it was kind of, I guess, more for the mystery. But that's more of a gripe than like, oh, this was bad.
But that's what I said, it's personal.
I didn't really have any gripes with the film.
That's fair. If you can't think of anything, don't force it. That means you've done it right.
So what's your one?
Mine is a gripe, and like you said, you have to suspend belief in these films. My only issue is when you have these long fight scenes, like I said, it seemed like it was being done in one shot. And towards the end of this fight scenes, you could tell he was getting like a bit tired. So for example, they'll be fighting. In the beginning, they're all fresh. Oh, whatever, right? And then, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the fights, he will hold their arm or something. They'll be like that for ages. And then you're like, bruv, get out of it. Do you know what I mean? But then he'll be like, bang, bang. And then I'll be like, yeah, we could have got out of that. And then there's a few occasions where, like, you can tell that Keanu's waiting for the attack. So, like, he'll, like, say for instance, they'll do a kick. And he knows that kick's going to be like a double kick. So they'll like, bang, bang. He would have already done this. And you see it. And he's doing that. And I thought.
You could argue.
Yeah.
That's how sick he is. He knows.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I did think that as well.
Yeah.
Because I saw him do this before the guy kicked it.
I agree. I definitely saw, especially in that the last bit, there was definitely at least a few times where he's telegraphed an attack just before it's thrown. or the attacker's just thrown a little bit longer than it should be. I'm like, oh, looks like they're getting a bit tired.
You know what? I get
But
that.
it was never to the point where it was like, oh, that's bait.
Perfect example with the ones with the bulletproof head, neck, shoulders, everything. Yeah,
That was mad.
that was sick because all of them were making the same mistake, shooting in the head. They're like, nah, you ain't sure. And there were a few occasions where they're getting shot in the head, and then they'll be just on their knees like that for ages. And I'm just like, bruv, get up, because when you got shot originally, you weren't going, oh, like,
Different gun, maybe.
nah.
One thing I will say to that, because that's what I was thinking, but one thing I will say to that is when those enemy men were shooting them from a distance, obviously it doesn't have the same effect, but John was a lot closer, so the stagger would be more. But I don't know how.
We could argue and say what gun has more force or whatever, but I'm saying the reason why
They did kind of clarify. What's his name? Sidious, I can't remember his name. The black dude
the armor
did say to him, "No, use this because this is da 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 da."
after they got new guns, I agree with what
Before that, when he first went into the vault, and he was like, "No, you should use. I recommend you use this because it's got da 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 da," and he said something about some bullet, and so his gun was definitely better than the rest of theirs
well,
anyway.
his gun was still not penetrating
No,
because there were a
it was
few
stunning.
occasions where he would shoot.
Yeah. But it was stunning them more, is what I'm
Fair
saying.
enough.
So
But yeah, his servant or whatever, he basically Benson. He basically turned around.
Benson.
Yeah, Benson's so old.
No, I know what the name. I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying is he had his own crew, and when he had his own crew shooting, they were just walking through the shots, which is a bit annoying. But I'm saying they were all just kind of pausing, and I was just like, nah, I'm not believing that shit. But yeah.
But yeah, the one thing I would say I was kind of like, he's stretching it a bit there, was literally at the end when he got shot. However many times, I know they weren't obviously in vital points, but man dropped.
It's bulletproof as well.
Yeah, man dropped off the building. He bust his head on the railing. The way he dropped, I was like, gone.
And that's a steel railing.
Yeah, any person.
Each thing was breaking his fall.
Yeah, I get that, but when he hit the railing, it was his head. Like it wasn't even like it was
Was it his head?
part of his chest. Yeah. And then he faced first on the concrete as well.
I was like, oh, and then like he was landed, and even to a point where even they thought he was dead.
It's
The
not like
chick.
he stood up though, did he?
He weren't there when what's her name? Look.
Yeah, no, but he didn't get up.
They put him in that
The
bin, innit?
guy got him.
Oh yeah,
and
true
put him in the trolley, so-
True that. Fair enough.
And
So again, it's
we
not.
didn't see him get up.
Yeah, true.
All he done was lift up his hand.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be alive.
Shouldn't be
True.
allowed. Yeah.
True. Well,
It's
he's
John
Baba
Wick,
Yaga
though,
though, isn't it?
It's
So,
John Wick. Yeah.
I don't really think those negatives were negatives. It was more
Yeah.
little gripes here. So, with that said, getting onto these scores, I'm expecting some. I mean, the way it reads, from what I've been hearing, these scores should be kind of high. But I don't know. Someone might throw a spanner in the works and do a madness. So, with that said, not gonna lie, if Adam was here still, he might say decent.
Yeah.
But
Decent. It was decent. No, it was decent. It was decent.
I'm not gonna go first. But since you said,
You'll go first. Let him go first.
all right, since you said, all right,
I'll
cool.
go first because I think my score is. I think my score might be slightly controversial, but it doesn't matter. I enjoyed the.
Say it with your chest, innit?
Yeah, and I will, because every score I've ever said, I say it in my chest, bro. Yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed this film. There was hardly any drawbacks. I mean, the story was slightly meh, but you knew that from number 2. Yeah, it's not. You know, it's an action film. It's not meant to be, some super complex. Yeah, 100%. I think Halle Berry did a good job. I think Keanu Reeves did a good job.
Sorry. Just 1 point with the Halle Berry, because obviously we did the trailer reaction. Do you still think that she looks okay?
Nah, she was like, especially when she was angry though.
Drank that water.
That's a very good point.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this straight up, 100% I'm drinking now. You mad?
You know what's funny though? It was a really good comeback for Halle Berry as a film wise. I haven't seen her in a film in a while. I think she should really do some action films because she was sick. Yeah. All in all, I think they'll be number 4, I guess, because of the way it ended.
I hope not. Keep it as a trilogy, man.
But it just ended really, you wouldn't end it like that. Do you know what I mean? So all in all, I give this film a 9. I think it was solid. I can't fault it. I enjoyed myself.
Cool. Since you said, I heard you say, James, I'll go first. I'm gonna come to you next.
Yeah, this is a 9 for me. Easily,
off the bat.
9 for me, bro. Easily, like I said it, like at the end of the film it was like straight 9. Like it was no debating about that because this film, from start to finish, like it was just amazing. I loved how the action was just continuing. It just kept on getting better. Even past my favorite fight scene, it still was like a really good battle. I love the choreography in the fights. Like even the end battle, the choreography with John Wick and the main guy.
Mark Dacascos. Shout out to Mark Dacascos.
Yeah, he's sick. He went on sick, bro. He's a good. Yeah, definitely 9 for me.
That's fair. That's fair. You saying, Ed? You saying? You saying? You saying? You saying?
What do you mean? You don't know what I'm going to give it. You don't know what I'm going to give it.
You know, if I
So, I loved this film. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. One thing I love about the John Wick series is that I swear down they add bass to the gunshots. Because every single time a gun gets let off, it's boom, boom, boom. Every single time. Even the little pistol.
Punchy.
It's very punchy. Like sometimes when I make my rice, it's punchy. And my chicken. So, yeah, like,
shout
so.
out to Jamie.
I'm not eating that.
But anyway, I give this film, a 9. Yeah, I give it a 9. No. If I could have written my score down, I would have done it. I always had it as a 9.
Okay.
I rate this film a 9. I actually think it's my favourite one in the series, better than 1. Number 3, I just think it was amazing. Like everything about it, I liked seeing his backstory, seeing how he learnt his wrestling moves. A lot of it just came to a close, and I especially liked Halle Berry scenes as well. I liked it. Yeah, can't fault it.
And I think that's
Yeah, I'll give that a 9.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, for me, pretty much what you said. I love the film. Love the film. It was better than I thought it would be. Definitely better than the second one. I love the fact that they fleshed out the backstory even more.
Yeah.
Fight scenes, amazing. The choreography. Halle Berry was amazing. She had a much bigger role in it than I thought she would. The dogs were sick. Mark Dacascos, legend in the fighting game. He was sick. Absolutely sick as well. So with that being said, I'll give it a 9.
Wow.
9 out of 10.
Solid 9.
That's an average score of 9.
First time, I think. Everyone's agreed on a score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a sick film.
Very, yeah. Alright, so that's it. Scores done. First time ever, unanimous across the board. No average, just a straight 9. Very, very impressive film. Couldn't recommend it enough.
Is that one of the films of the year? No.
Oh, it's there, 100%. 100%. It's in there.
We still got a long way to go.
Still got a long way to go. It's only what, mid-May? Still a long way. Because Godzilla, I reckon that's going to be a madness. I'm calling it, but I think that's going to be madness. But yeah, that was our review for John Wick 3, Chapter 3, Parabellum. They said it in the film as well. Remember we said that in the thing? They said it in the film.
Prepare for war.
That's it.
Every action has consequences.
I see you just look at the thing though. You tried it, but yeah. He's right. But you did. I just see you just look at it. But yeah, let us know what you thought about the film. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? I don't know if you didn't enjoy it, there's something wrong with you. To be honest, no par. But yeah, let us know what you thought. Leave a comment. Were we right in giving it a 9? Were we right in saying it's one of the films of the year so far? Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. You should already be subscribed to the channel, because we're always putting out new videos, new reviews all the time. It's a busy month. We said we got Godzilla coming up. We got Aladdin coming up. All of that. But you know the deal already. Follow us if you're not. Twitter, Insta, YouTube. You're already here. We've been at what? What? The socials, innit? You already know. Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N. We have been at Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N. Peace.